2024 Chevrolet Trax Review, less power, more space. In the fiercely competitive subcompact SUV segment, no automaker can afford to do less than its best, so the new 2024 Chevrolet Trax comes as a breath of fresh air for a model that was starting to feel the pinch of old age. The American automaker has given the small vehicle an extensive makeover so that it can better handle competitors like the Mazda CX-30 and Kia Soul, two cars that have done extremely well. With the most recent updates, the Trax gets a host of new features and 3 new trim levels to better spread them out across the value chain. However, Chevy seems to be leaning more heavily into good value than some might like, as it has traded out the older Turbo 4 engine for a 3-cylinder that only makes 137 horsepower. We can't argue with its fuel economy figures, though. We'll have to see if the new updates are enough to make up for this and put the Trax on par with its esteemed rivals in the USA as it moves into a new generation. 2024 Chevrolet Trax changes. What's the difference vs the 2023 Trax? The Chevrolet Trax is an all-new arrival for the 2024 model year and replaces the dated first-generation model. The new one introduces a much snazzier design and comes with a high-value starting price of under $21,000. More length, a longer wheelbase, and wider hips give the Trax more interior space than ever before, and the infotainment screens have been enlarged to 8 inches on the base model and 11 inches from the LT up. Lastly, the powertrain has been swapped out for a 1.2-liter turbocharged inline-3 that makes 137 horsepower and 162 lb-ft of torque. Pros and cons. Improved fuel economy. Attractive, modern styling. Spacious interior. Plenty of great features as standard. Low starting price. The engine has even less power than before. No all-wheel drive option. What's the price of the 2024 Chevrolet Trax? Even with all its updates for the new year, the price of the 2024 Chevrolet Trax has managed to stay extremely low, with the entry-level LS at a starting figure of $20,400. The 1RS and LT are a mere $200 apart at $22,100 and $22,300, respectively. At the top of the range are the 2RS and Active, which both come in at $23,900. These prices of the Chevrolet Trax all represent the MSRP and do not include tax, registration, or the $1,095 destination charge. 2024 Chevrolet Trax handling and driving impressions. We found the new Chevrolet Trax to be a pleasant vehicle to drive, especially in the context of its low price point. Overall, the ride is comfortable enough for small families and we appreciate that wind noise does not intrude too much to disturb occupants. The issue of road noise was raised as a concern by customers of the previous Trax, so Chevy has clearly focused on making improvements in this aspect. In a 2RS example we drove, we found the Trax pleasing to drive with its marginally sharper steering, while body roll is well contained. All that being said, the Trax is not a very sporty driving companion, and although the 137 horsepower engine is fine for use around town, it does struggle at higher speeds on the highway. The Mazda CX-30, for example, is a lot peppier and more engaging. For this new generation of the Trax, all-wheel drive is no longer available as an option. This helps to keep the price low and the weight down, but it may deter some shoppers living in colder climates where slippery conditions are common. Verdict: is the 2024 Chevrolet Trax a good SUV? In the past, any review of the Chevrolet Trax would be quick to point out just how far behind the competition it stood. That is no longer the case now that the automaker has given it a new lease on life. The longer list of standard features certainly doesn't hurt its standing, but what has really launched the Trax ahead of the middle of the pack is its larger dimensions, which has increased both rear legroom and cargo capacity. It is also much more exciting to look at and the vastly more modern cabin does not feel cheap. The 3-cylinder engine is economical but a bit more power would have been appreciated, and the absence of AWD will limit the Trax's appeal. Despite this, the Trax represents an opportunity for younger shoppers on a tighter budget to get behind the wheel of a new, modern crossover. What 2024 Chevrolet Trax model should I buy? It's generally a safe bet to aim for something in the middle of the range when trying to balance cost with value. For the Trax, this would be the LT trim, which adds a good amount of comfort and convenience to the otherwise bare-bones SUV. This includes a more premium interior with cloth/Evotex upholstery, a larger driver information display, an 11-inch touchscreen for the infotainment, 6 speakers, and automatic climate control. We'd consider adding the driver confidence package for extra safety and peace of mind. A new Chevrolet Trax subcompact SUV with these specifications will cost you around $23,545. But if you're on a tight budget, the LS gives you all the essentials.